Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending November 2nd, 2022. Remember the day where you bought a property, did absolutely nothing to it, and a year later you sold it for thousands and thousands more? Those days are gone. Today, what we're seeing in the field, sellers that have their property for sale, which they bought a year or two ago, did a ton of renovations on these properties, and it's for sale for virtually what they bought their home for a year ago. So all that expense and energy and time in doing these renovations, they're not seeing the return. They're actually selling at a loss if you include the cost of all that renovations. This is the time we're in now. Knowing the numbers of what you can do and what makes sense as far as renos and selling your house and the price it's going to sell at, extremely important to know the real numbers. Furthermore, what we're seeing with these homes that are already in a negative situations as far as being selling at a loss in a sense, we're seeing the promotion, the way these homes are being promoted, we're seeing that cut way back, which is a mistake. I don't know if this is the seller side or the realtors that they're using cutting back on how these homes are being promoted, but this is not the time to cut back. This is the time to double down. This is the time to have the best type of promotion for your home. This is the time where you've got to go out of your way to promote your home in its best possible light. As always, who you hire matters. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule is organized so we can talk about whatever's on your mind. Let's get into the numbers. Here's a quick summary. These are average sold price for detached properties only, for Mississauga in blue at the top, the green line, that's Brampton, and then the burgundy line here, that's Durham. For Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. And if we just look from 1 week to the next, to week ending November 2nd, average sold prices went up in all of these areas. So here's Mississauga. Detached properties broken down by week for a whole year. For week ending November 2nd, 27 detached properties were sold. 3 of those were at $2 million or more. If we just kind of step back and look at sales for a little bit here, we could see the sales that were done over the summer months. It looks like over the fall months, sales came down a little bit. We didn't do the same volume that we did over the course of the summer, which is different in some other areas. For the city of Toronto, sales increased over the fall months versus the summer months. So neighborhoods, they react differently. Average sold price has been going up for a few weeks in a row now. Average sold price for week ending November 2nd is $1,565,000. $1,565,000 is 8% lower than last year's average sold price, and the median price is 14% lower than last year's median price. Median price right now for Mississauga for detached properties is sitting at $1,250,000. The broken line here, the dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average, and it helps to kind of spot the trend a little bit more than the regular peaks and valleys. And you know, if we look back 3 months, average sold price and the median price, if we look at the 4-week moving average, really hasn't changed that much either way over the course of a 3-month period. Sales year to date, we have 39% fewer sales this year versus last year. And even though only 27% sold, only 27 detached properties were sold, only 7% of those, so it's not a lot, only 7% sold at list price or more. So there's lots of properties being negotiated on, and they're not multiple offers and are not being sold at asking price. Listings are 5% fewer listings this year versus last year. Months of inventory, it's up a little bit. It's up higher than what we've had now for about a month and a half. We're sitting at 3.3 months of inventory with 20 the average days on market. That's Mississauga. Let's look at Brampton. 37 detached properties were sold. One of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price is $1,199,000. $1,199,000 is 15% lower than last year's average sold price at this time. The median price is 16% lower than where the median price was last year at this time. Median price right now is sitting at $1,105,000. And again, looking back over the course of 3 months, not a lot of movement in price either way. Year to date, we have 46% fewer sales this year versus last year. That's a big difference in volume, in activity. Listings, we have 11% fewer listings. Months of inventory, for about a month now, it's been going up every single week. It's now sitting at 2.6 months of inventory. And again, just a reminder, this is just for Brampton and just for detached properties. The Durham region, and again, Pickering, Ajax, Whitby is my Durham sample. 36 detached properties were sold. This is the second week in a row where no properties sold at $2 million or more. And if we go back, we got to go back all the way to August 24th, where we had more than one property. We had 2 properties sold at $2 million or more. So it's either 0 or 1 selling at $2 million or more. Average sold price is sitting at $1,118,000, which is 14% lower than last year's average sold price at this time. Sorry, 1 second here. The median price is 11% lower than last year's median price. Median price is sitting at $1.1 million. Now for Mississauga and for Brampton, when I look back at 3 months, looks like average sold price and median price really hasn't moved that much either way over the span of 3 months. When we look at it for the Durham region and we look at the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, it actually looks like it's been coming down. Not by much, but a little bit. Average sold price has been coming down over the course of 3 months. Year-to-date sales, we have 32% fewer sales this year versus last year, and 2% fewer listings this year versus last year, year-to-date. Months of inventory is sitting at 1.4 months of inventory, with 12 being the average days on market. Now, months of inventory for the Durham region is still quite low. I mean, we're looking at 1.4. It's been 1.1, 1.2 for a while. The previous week, we went up as high as 1.6. That would be considered a high point. We're sitting at 1.4 right now. Here's condos. This is for Peel condo, for all Peel region. 27 condos were sold. None of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price came way down from the previous week. It's now sitting at $599,000. $599,000 is 7% lower than last year's average sold price for condo apartments. And when we look at the course of this year versus last year, and we kind of look back, there's not too many weeks where the average sold price this year was lower than last year. In most cases this year, average sold price has been higher. But this week, we are 7% lower than last year's average sold price. The median price, however, is 8% higher than last year's median price. Median price is sitting at $593. Looking at the 4-week moving average for average sold price and for median price over the course of 3 months, kind of looks like median price has been going up slightly, not aggressively, but average sold price, you could see it has actually been climbing a little bit. Months of inventory, year-to-date sales, we have 37% fewer condo sales this year versus last year, and we have virtually the same amount of listings. It's 0.3% fewer listings this year. So it's virtually the same. Months of inventory has been climbing. It's now sitting at 3.9 months of inventory for condos, and that's condos for Peel region. Here's a quick summary of months of inventory. Excluding the Durham region, months of inventories are climbing, and even though we're not technically sitting in a balanced market in many areas, it does feel like we're in a balanced market situation. You have time to take a look at homes. You have time to put offers with conditions. But be careful, because it's not every situation, and there still are homes that are going very fast that do have some competition. Who you work with can help you navigate all that. Make sure you're working with somebody that really is understanding what's happening in today's market, and it does change from neighborhood to neighborhood, all the market conditions. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.